Melanoma is a skin cancer
You really don't notice how many people it affects.
until it affects you.
Melanoma, I think, is very underfunded.
There is no awareness about melanoma.
People never heard of it. I'd never heard of it.
I knew that it was the worst kind of skin cancer.
It doesn't discriminate. I mean, it's any age.
We've all completely changed because of it.
People think melanoma is just skin cancer. It can be cut out.
You have to catch it early.
One person dies of melanoma every hour.
Amanda was a very compassionate person. She cared so deeply about people. I know sometimes when we'd come up to a red light and we'd see a homeless person, she would comment and said, "Mom, let's give them some money." So her heart went out so much to people who had less.
She would light up any room that she walked into. She would make the mailman, the janitor, feel they were so important. When they would come into the office, she would just make over their clothes, their shoes. There was nothing pretentious about Amanda, and she went out of her way to make you feel important.
Corey was our oldest daughter. She was born May of 1982.
We're an extremely competitive family, and she showed that. Played sports, played basketball, played baseball, played soccer. Very, very competitive and very good. At a very early age, we discovered she liked art. She could draw a face at a young age, and we sat there and looked at it and said, that looks real. And so she had a gift for seeing things and being able to put them on a piece of paper.
In third grade, Corey said, I am going to be an art teacher. And, you know, in third grade you think, of course you are. But that's what she became.
Amanda called me at my office and she said, "Mom, I've just had a call from the doctor." And she said, "It's melanoma." And she was crying hysterically because she knew enough that that diagnosis was not good.
She had a mole on her back that bled. And I know a fair amount, I had known a fair amount about melanoma, and I said, that's not good. Go to the doctor now. And she went, the doctor excised it, said, yep, it's a problem, but it's not too bad. And she called up and said, well, it was a skin cancer, but they got enough and they think they got it all.
It was just a shock to us. That's when we realized that, you know, this is a little more serious than we originally thought.
Then we got a phone call in January of 2008. I have a lump under my arm. And my heart sunk.
First thing you always think of is, it can't be true. It can't be true, not her.
Amanda and Corey had melanoma the fight they went through, the surgeries they had to go through, the struggles they went through to fight it, and they didn't win.
We need to educate people. We need to educate people to understand what melanoma is and what can cause melanoma, how you need to protect yourself.
4 years ago, I didn't realize how bad melanoma can be. Like I said earlier, I thought it was a place on the skin. You remove the place on the skin and you recover from melanoma and go on with your life. But that's not the case. And there's so many other people out there that have that same understanding of melanoma.
I don't care who you are, where you come from, or what color your skin is. Melanoma is nasty. It's just plain nasty. And people need to be aware of it and why it occurs and what they can do, the simple things they can do to prevent it.
You pick up the paper, you may read something about breast cancer. You may read something about heart attacks. You may read something about prostate cancer, colon cancer. But I challenge you to pick up a paper and see an article on melanoma, the melanoma cancer. it's just not there.
The real sadness is, and I think you've heard this before, is that women in the younger age groups, we're seeing more and more and more, even down into the teenage years and preteen years. And because their bodies are so much more active, we're seeing the disease be so much more aggressive. So if a young lady gets it or a young man gets it that age, there's not a good ending to this.
These two young ladies were like ships passing in the night, and they run into each other. Duke didn't even know each other. They were, you know, one was on one side of the waiting room, one on the other side of the waiting room, and don't even know each other, and passed each other on campus. And both of them get this disease. It boggles your mind. It boggles your mind.
Corey and Amanda had the same oncologist at Duke Hospital. One day, Rebecca and Amanda and I had an appointment and went into the waiting room after we checked in. And as I hear it from Corey's parents, I didn't know it at the time.
And Diane hit me with her elbow saying, "Look, look." I said, "What?" She said, "Look at those two ladies. They're really pretty."
No, I said that they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't tell you, I told Corey.
Oh, you told me later. You told me later.
Said nothing about me, but how beautiful the women were.
Looking back, Amanda didn't have her hair. She had a scarf wrapped around her head like it was long hair. And they were just there to see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know. We had no idea.
We did not meet.
Never said hello to them.
Did not speak.
And then we went in and we never saw them again.
Until that night at the Compassionate Friends.
As soon as Rebecca and Don walked in, I wasn't thinking. I was just thinking,
I know you. Because she had seen Amanda's picture in the paper. And that's how I started.
I like the idea of this event, and it's a great event. I'm really happy that we could get all these people to come here for us.
One person every hour dies of melanoma. It is the leading cause of cancer for female in the age group 26 to 30. And it's a damn shame we have to be here tonight to honor the lives of Amanda and Corey who fell into that category.
This event is just incredible. I've been a little bit involved with the planning of it, and the crowd we've had tonight is incredible. People who know Amanda and Corey, there's a lot of people here who didn't know them, but we're really trying to raise melanoma awareness, and it's just a fantastic event tonight.
Every dollar that we bring in tonight goes to the Melanoma Research Foundation.
Count for me. 1, 2, 3, go! All right.
We have an annual walk, a memorial walk. The mission is, 1, to keep the memories of Amanda and Corey alive. 2 is to raise awareness of the dangers of melanoma. And 3rd is to raise funds for education and research for melanoma.
The idea was brought up by Rebecca, her mother, that maybe we do a walk to help raise money for research, awareness, and to let the memory of the girls live on.
You know, we're just trying to raise money for research. But we want it to be fun. We want it to be in memory of the girls.
You can raise all the money in the world, but if people aren't aware of what it is and why it occurs, then it keeps happening. So if you can raise awareness of it and get people to change the way they're doing things, and maybe talk to a couple other people and say, I recognize that, I've seen that, and pass that to 1 or 2 other people, then you've affected a lot more than just raising money.
I think the awareness is the biggest thing. Not many people notice, to look for things. Brown spots, they think they're freckles, or it'll go away, it's a mole, or they don't know to get yearly, annual checkups and the things to do to try to prevent it.
I have a tattoo on my wrist of my sister's initials, and It took me 3 years to do it because I was more afraid of people asking me what it was for, and by people asking me what it means, I explained to them what happened, and they start asking more questions about it and getting more interested. So that's one way I guess I'm more creating awareness.
And as we gather together to help to fund maybe some research to at least help with treatment, we can at least talk together and educate with each other during that walk that can try to help us to come up with better means of knowledge so that we can protect ourselves.
I think Amanda and Corey would be amazed at how so many people came together to make this happen. It's not just the committee. It's businesses that have no idea who these girls are. It's friends, it's family, it's, well, I knew someone who had melanoma, that they came out to make this happen.
It's not only a walk to raise money, but it's a walk in their memory. One of the hardest parts for parents is the unfulfilled dreams of your kids. I wish this on nobody, not even the worst person in the world, because it is such a pain that people just don't realize and don't think about. And it doesn't go away. You learn to live with it, but to keep their memory alive and do something significant while we're doing that is really important. It's important to us, I know it's important to Don and Rebecca, that alone is worth the time and the effort to do it.